re-enter the week. Everyone takes their favorite storyline from the weekend, and we talk about it. Everyone's got a little something to bring to the table. And this week, it's presented by DirecTV, home to the most local MLB games. Shout out to DirecTV for sponsoring the segment. It is yet another week in the baseball world, and I think we would be doing our listeners a great disservice if we did not open the segment by talking about the Cincinnati Reds and Atlanta Braves series. I feel like we would be doing a great disservice by doing that. Friday night, game of the year. Absolutely the game of the year. The Atlanta Braves go up 5-0. The Cincinnati Reds come storming back. 2 homers from Joey Votto, who I dipped my toe into Reds Twitter, and it was a hot take vortex when Joey Votto came back, and some people were saying, oh, he's gonna ruin what we got going on, and some people were saying, F you, he's a legend, and he's gonna make things better. And lo and behold, Joey Votto homers not once but twice in that game. Elly De La Cruz. If you're like, that was one of those games for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they announced there was a sellout, and I was like, oh, you got the Atlanta Braves on a 8-game winning streak, I believe, at the time. Then you have the Cincinnati Reds, who were on an 11-game winning streak coming into that series, going head-to-head, sellout crowd. Geographically, how far away is Atlanta from Cincinnati? Why were there so many Braves fans there?
Braves country.
But, why were there so many Braves fans?
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
There are a lot of Braves fans.
Ohio is nowhere near Atlanta. I don't think that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There are a lot of Braves fans there. But Elly De La Cruz, it was one of those games. I had
just
the
a
Reds.
quick 6 hours and 46 minutes away.
Oh, that's not bad.
But it is near West Virginia, so that's probably why. If you live in West Virginia, you just like the Braves because country boys.
Country boys. So, admittedly, I had the Reds-Braves game on the big TV that night. I just, maybe it's because the Red Sox are so mid, but also because I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't locked in on Reds-Braves that night. So I'm watching it, and Elly De La Cruz first at bat, laser, 117 off the bat, straight to the wall, double. It's the second hardest hit. It's the second hardest hit ball, not just double ball in general, in Reds history since they started recording StatCast data, which was 2015. Then he comes up again, bang, homer. Then he gets an RBI knock. It's like, well, there's obvious cycle candidates, and he's got to be the most obvious of all time. Like if you've checked double, homer, single, and you've only got triple left, who's the one guy in baseball right now where it's like, this is the no-brainer pick for who I want at the dish to complete if you could pinch hit a guy to complete a cycle, if you need a triple, you're probably picking Elly De La Cruz. And what does he do? Triple in the gap, and ends up with the cycle. Reds win. Crowd's going nuts. And I don't know how you feel, Joe, as a Braves fan. Braves took the series, but the Reds still put up a hell of a fight. Like, it wasn't like, oh man, like they rose to the occasion on Friday because the crowd was sold out and they were playing off the emotions and everything. On Saturday, they hit back-to-back homers in the bottom of the ninth. They lose 7-6. And then yesterday, they had the tying run at third base in the ninth inning, in the bottom of the ninth. The tying run was 90 feet away. So, I mean, the Braves won the series, but they got out of there probably feeling like, hey, the Reds are for real. Like, yeah, like they took us to the brink there.
I mean, yeah, all 3 one-run games.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 were like massive leads that were either, I don't say massive, but 4-run leads, 4 or 5-run leads that were either choked all the way, which on Friday, it looked like the Braves were going to stomp them after the first inning. Didn't work out that way. But yeah, every game was a slugfest in Great American Small Park. The ball was flying, bro. If you want Jeff Francoeur said that, I swear to God, 57 times the whole weekend. That was his thing. Great American Small Park. And I was like, you know what, Jeff, you're right about that, because these balls are getting out of here. Everybody was hitting bombs. Matt Olson was hitting bombs. Elly De La Cruz. I mean, everybody. The Reds have one good pitcher.
That to me is the problem. And like, that's what we learned, or what I'm going to take away from the series, other than the fact that we got 3 1-1 games and that it was generally very exciting with lots of offense from some of the game's most exciting players. Moving past all of that good stuff, like, the Reds pitching is not good enough. And particularly their starting pitching. Like, I know we didn't see their best, but there really is no assortment of pitchers we could have seen in this series in terms of healthy people that would have been a lot better. Like Luke Weaver, Graham Ashcraft, and Levi Strout combined for 14 earned runs in 10 1/3 innings pitched. Like, I don't really know what that, like, you're not going to win. The fact that they won one game is probably like a good turn of events for that. I just 5.91 ERA on the season overall for their starting pitching, which is the second worst in the NL and third worst in baseball. And the only teams that are worse are the Rockies and A's, who are like non-competitive
Not baseball teams.
Yeah, they're not. The stakes aren't the same for those two teams as they are for the Reds this season. And for as exciting as some of their position players are, and that their success has been this year, I think we saw that against a great team like the Braves, they're going to come up short more often than not, I think, with that starting pitching.
Yeah. And they've got some guys that are hurt as well. But to have Weaver go out there with his 6 ERA and pitch like a guy with a 6 ERA, like, no one rose to the occasion. Like, in terms of starting pitching, you didn't have anyone be like, I know I suck, but I got some feel for the big moment, and I'm going to go out there and surprise a lot. No, it simply did not happen. The Reds had to rely on their offense to hang with the Braves. And the Braves, I mean, like, Matt Olson goes out there and he's got what, 25 now? 25 homers, Joe?
Tied at the lead, 25 homers.
Ties Shohei Ohtani. And now you have, I think Pete Alonso hit one yesterday as well, so he's at 24. So, yeah, it is. It's a series that I would love to see in the postseason. I don't know if we're gonna get it. Not with the Reds starting pitching the way that it is, but
why not?
On Name Redacted? On Name Redacted, we were talking about how like James Paxton, for example, is a guy that is cheap, and the Red Sox are super mid, and that's the type of move that the Reds need to make, where it's like, hey, this guy is a rental, and we're in a way desperate. Who knows? I mean, you can't bank on being good next year. Like, you just can't bank on it. If you've got lightning in a bottle right now and you want to put some more juice behind it, you go out there and make a trade like that. I'm not saying that the Reds as they are right now, I don't know. I feel like is it smart money to say that they end up in the NLCS? Like, there's just a lot of teams that are supposed to be good that aren't, but they could just be the 2007 Colorado Rockies, where it's just, hey, team of destiny. We're going to get there. We're going to find a way, and we may not be the best team, but we just, it doesn't have to make sense. But they're going to have to make some moves in the starting pitching department if they're going to link up with the Atlanta Braves in the postseason.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a lot of those. What do you mean, like compete with the Braves?
Yeah.
If you're going off roster construction.
No. Not like
just to play
match them. Yeah, to play them, not to match up talent-wise.
They just need a shot. They just want a shot. But honestly, I think the team right now could play the Braves theoretically. Like, if they just win the division, it's definitely possible. Like, this division, and these guys are, I mean, every one of these young prospects are seemingly a beast. Like Matt McClain.
Yeah.
Beast.
Does not get enough love, by the way.
No, because he's overshadowed by Elly. Like, can you blame anyone? Elly De La Cruz is from a video game.
I don't think that anyone's going to pick him to be better, but I feel like they're not even talking about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got overshadowed like this. And I mean, That's what happens when a
Ozzie
6'7"
Albies,
fastest guy ever comes up and has 7 celebrations and hits a cycle in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Matt McClain, you're going to go in the background, but he had a better series than Elly De La Cruz.
Yeah, that's like people, like no one is going to sit here and tell you that Ozzie Albies is better than Ronald Acuna Jr. Like, I feel like it's very comparable in that sense where Ronald Acuna Jr., MVP caliber player. Elly De La Cruz, I know it's been a couple weeks, but has the skill set to be an MVP caliber player. But you know who Ozzie Albies is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's clearly inferior, but you know who he is. Like, McClain's going out there being like, hey, does anyone watching what I'm doing over here? Like, I'm pretty good too, but I'm not Elly De La Cruz. I didn't have the hype machine behind me.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing why like Jordan Walker gets no attention. Like, he's having a great rookie season. He's on a massive hit streak, but he ain't 6'7" with 7 chains and runs a 3-second 40-yard dash, hitting triples and cycles. Like, it's another level for this guy. And you know what the coolest thing about the Reds is that like they went on this winning streak as soon as Elly De La Cruz came up, and it's like the young flashy Reds, all these young guys banding together, and then this old Joey Votto is like in the minor leagues. Just totally everyone forgets that this future Hall of Famer exists because all these young kids. And for him, for him to just come back and hit 3 home runs in his first like 4 or 5 games was like the dopest thing ever. And the way he fits in with the squad, and it seems like he's making it feel like this is not really my team. Like, I am the leader. I am a leader in my own right, but I'm letting the kids have fun. I mean, he's hitting bombs, doing bat flips and tribal screams. He's putting on the Viking helmet. He's letting his hair down. I love it.
That is a good point. Like, he's definitely not gatekeeping the Reds. He's definitely not being like, I've been here since 2001 and like, this is my team. It's been my team. I've suffered through the years. So if we're going to go out and have a good year, then I better be the guy. Like, I better be the centerpiece.
He's not wiping off Elly De La Cruz's eye black.
No.
You know?
No. Yeah. Shout out to Freddie Freeman. By the way, 2,000 career hits for Freddie. Woo!